If Joseph Bastianich has haters, I'm one of them. If he has one hater, it's me. If he has no haters, I'm dead. So last time we talked, Gwyneth Westwood, the founder of My Not So Berry Challenge, contemplated what to do after finding out that her fiancé, Joseph Bastianich, may or may not be cheating on her with a woman named Tessa, while her daughter and our heir, Rosalie Bastianich, hung out with her best friend, Finley Broke, before getting ready to go to her first ever spooky day party. Getting into an offensive argument with Joseph about her costume, Rosalie didn't give a damn about what her father Joseph had to say about her costume. She looked good, and she wasn't going to let him dim her sparkle. She left for Maximilian Fontaine's Willow Creek estate immediately afterwards. Maximilian, dressed as an astronaut, was finishing the final touches for his party right when Rosalie arrived. In fact, she was the first person to arrive. She just had to leave after her argument with Joseph. The way he insulted her broke her heart, but she wasn't going to let that ruin her night. Jaquan arrived, missing a key part of his costume, his fucking bow tie. Rosalie literally told him this morning not to forget it. It's fine. It's fine. She wasn't going to make it a big deal. She was just glad to feel Jaquan's embrace. This was his first time seeing Rosalie in her costume, and he was blown away, drowning her with compliments, which she loved. Finley had arrived as well, preoccupied with swimming as Rosalie was giving a spooky day toast, with a non-alcoholic drink in hand of course. More Sims were arriving, the kitchen getting pretty packed pretty quick. One Sim in particular dressed as Princess Leia caught Rosalie's attention. She'd seen her around school, and she was very, very pregnant. Interesting. Then, Finley came inside, dressed as Captain America. He greeted his best friend, telling her she looked beautiful in her costume. God, why couldn't Joseph be more like Finley? He was so supportive of her no matter what and never judged her. How'd she get so lucky to land herself a best friend like him? Since Finley and Jaquan had never met, Rosalie encouraged her bestie to try and bond with him. Even though he was skeptical of Jaquan, Finley put in the effort for Rosalie, inviting Jaquan to play some arcade games with him. While that was happening, pregnant Princess Leia formally introduced herself to Rosalie. Her name was Courtney James. Atlas, where is your shirt? Afterwards, Jaquan asked Rosalie to be his beer pong partner against Finley and Santos Royale, who was dressed as a ninja. Of course, Rosalie wouldn't actually be drinking any of the beer, but she liked that she would be doing something with Jaquan, and that he and Finley would be bonding. So she picked up a ping pong ball and played, even though she sucked at it. Oh girl, please, suck it up. It was Finley's turn, then Jaquan's, then Santos's, literally all of them missing. I know you're teens, but you're by far the worst beer pong players I've ever seen in this game. Even Rosalie, the straight edge one, is doing better than all three of you. Drink up, Finley. I have a feeling this won't be your last one. Finley actually managed to land one inside the cup. Jaquan chugged it for Rosalie. She was having such a great time. It was funny witnessing her friends get competitive and get drunk, but being surrounded by so much adult juice couldn't help but remind her of her daddy, the one Sim she was trying to avoid thinking about. Why couldn't he have fun like this? Why did he become so angry when he drank? But she figured she should just live in the moment rather than think about the dark past. Why is one of Rosalie's teachers here and in her pajamas? Ezra Fitz wannabe. Soon after, the game ended with Finley and Santos kicking Rosalie's and Jaquan's asses, and it was in that moment when Rosalie and Jaquan snuck off for a private moment outside. She was having so much fun with him lately, and was honestly growing tired of waiting for him to make a move. Screw being a gentleman. It was time for them to take the next step, so she kissed him. And he kissed her back. It was a nice kiss. Nothing great, but it was exactly what she wanted. Rosalie had her very first kiss. They wanted to do it some more, so they found an empty bedroom inside the house and started macking on each other without a care in the world. Rosalie found this fun. She could do this for hours. She wondered if Jaquan was finally getting the message that she wanted them to be more than friends, something official. And it seemed like that was what Jaquan was about to ask next. It seemed like it, but it wasn't. He asked Rosalie if she wanted to do more with him than just kiss. Rosalie was taken by surprise. She'd never been propositioned and never expected Jaquan to ask her about that stuff so early on, especially since they weren't even official. She was flattered that he found her attractive, but she declined his offer. She literally just learned about it. Jaquan was hoping for a different answer, asking her one more time. He really liked her, and they had this perfect opportunity. Why waste it? Because Rosalie wants it to be special, maybe in a hotel or on a beach or something, not in some random guy's room at a party. When Jaquan's tipsy, she wants to be in love. And how could she be in love with Jaquan when he hasn't even asked her to be his girlfriend yet? Again, Rosalie said no, that she wasn't woohooing with him, and that he needed to take no for an answer. Now, Jaquan was upset. He didn't understand why he was getting treated like this. He'd been so nice to her and just wanted to show her a good time. Why couldn't she lighten up? Now, Rosalie was confused. She'd never seen this aggressive side of Jaquan before, and why he thought she owed him woohoo just because he's been nice to her was beyond her. She was now starting to think that Jaquan showed interest in her for all the wrong reasons. Was he just using her? He told Rosalie that she was hot and that she seemed to give attention to any guy that gives it to her. He thought it would be easy to get her to woohoo with him. So Rosalie's doubts were confirmed. Jaquan didn't actually like her for her. He just liked her for her body. Rosalie felt ashamed and disgusted. She told Jaquan to go to hell, and in return, he told her to stop being such a S-word. Wow. Twice in 24 hours. She was called such degrading names by the two guys in her life she valued the most. Maybe Joseph was right. Maybe people did think of her as a harlot. Maybe she shouldn't have gone out in this costume. Maybe she should cover up more. Was it her fault Jaquan thought she was interested in doing that? Was she sending him the wrong message? Rosalie ran out of the room, sobbing, searching for her best friend Finley, who was drunk and playing foosball by himself. Finley was concerned. What was wrong and why was she sobbing? He asked. She told him everything. How Jaquan is the exact opposite of what he seemed. How he pressured her into doing something she didn't want to do and insulted her. She felt so gross and vulnerable and just wanted to go home and cry. Finley was distraught. How dare he say such vile things to Rosalie? He knew she was severely hurt and also knew that he wasn't letting Jaquan get away with any of this. He found Jaquan drinking in the kitchen alone. He didn't hesitate to start screaming in his face, asking him what's good, why he thought it was okay to call his best friend the S-word, why he thinks he can tell anyone anything when he's in desperate need of a trip to Cass. Jaquan told him to back off. Nothing happened between him and Rosalie anyways, but that didn't matter to Finley. He was confused why Jaquan's ugly ass thought that was okay to begin with. Not Finley learning mid-yell that he dislikes arguments. Are you sure, Finn? Are you really sure? The both of them were drunk, getting louder and more aggressive. Jaquan was so sick of Finley all up in his face that he punched him. Oh, Jaquan. Big mistake. Slay. Oh, that's not. Okay, Finley. I think you've made your point, buddy. And he got himself one last drink, with a sore fist and not a care in the world.